This is the first mic ever that can be used in so many different ways straight out of the box. This is using it right now as a shotgun mic.
And it easily converts to a desktop or podcast mic.
To a tiny wireless clip-on mic. It can also be used as an interview mic. You're supposed to say something.
Like what?
Just threw in the deep end.
Boya has quite possibly released the coolest mic that I think every single creator, especially those that are starting out, is going to need. This is the Boya Magic. Now, Boya's been around for quite some time, and a quick Google search will tell you that they really know what they're doing. They're actually the sister company to the very well-known Saramonic, and I don't think Boya themselves needs any introduction because everyone that's in the creative space has heard of Boya mics. Now in the box, you do get a neat little carry case which has some compartments inside. You get all the cables you need, a receiver which fits onto your camera, wind foam, a dead cat for the handheld mic, and each transmitter as well. And if you get the full kit, you get the neat little stand that I have over here as well. And then obviously you get the main unit. This is what everyone is buzzing about. Connecting and how it works. Now, this unit that you see is much like every other unit that you find. It operates as well as the charging case, and you charge it via USB-C, and it also provides an extra charge to the transmitters themselves. Now, the receiver for your camera is separate, and it is in the case separately. It doesn't clip onto this, and you do need to charge that separately via the USB-C port that's on the receiver. And yes, these little transmitters are held into the case via magnet, so it is pretty tough and they're not going to fall out anywhere. Also, as soon as you do remove them, they do switch on. The receiver, you do have to hold the power button to switch it on, and then they automatically pair up. Now at the bottom of this unit over here, you'll see the little receiver that you pull out to attach to your phone. Now that doesn't need any power and it doesn't require any charging because your phone will actually charge that itself. And then when you do remove the transmitters from the actual case, they will automatically pair up and you're good to go. Also, it does come with USB-C and a Lightning version if you get the full kit, or you can opt for only one or the other. And it is held on with a magnet. So it's pretty cool to have this going with you everywhere you go, and it's attached to this so you can quickly just pull it out and attach it to your phone. Now, if you do want to use this whole setup on your camera, like I said, you do need to use the receiver, and obviously it comes with a 3.5mm cable, which you just run straight into your camera, like with every other receiver. Now this is where things start to change just a little bit. If you do remove the transmitters from this case, they do operate like normal transmitters, left and right, mono, stereo. However, it's when you leave them in the case that it changes everything. As long as you leave the top transmitter in the case and you do use the receiver or the phone receiver, it will automatically operate as kind of a handheld mic or desktop mic or shotgun mic. So I'm going to take you through that because no other device does it this good. And talking about doing it as good, no one does it as good as Soundstripe, who is the sponsor of today's video. Now, for those of you that know me, you know I have been a subscriber to Soundstripe for 5-6 years, and yes, I still pay my own subscription. I absolutely love Soundstripe. But Soundstripe isn't just for creators, it's for bigger marketing companies, marketing agencies. So if you're looking to license music on a bigger scale, these guys can help you out. Because honestly, I have never had a single YouTube video or a client's video being demonetized or kicked off Instagram or Facebook or YouTube. That is how foolproof it basically is. Other than their enormous range of music and sound effects, stock footage, they even have AI song editing, soup. I've actually done a whole video on AI song editing that they have. You have to check it out. I'll link it in the description below. What I will link in there as well is a link that allows you to get a bit of a discount if you head over to www.soundstripe.com/rich. But let's finish the video. I'll throw it in the description so you can check it out after this video.
Alright, so this is in the handheld mic mode. So the top transmitter is basically pulling the audio, using this whole thing to essentially power it as well and just give you something to hold in your hand. Now the range on this is going to be pretty much exactly like the normal range test. As long as this is line of sight to the camera, you'll get pretty much the exact same distance because it's basically just using the top transmitter. The rest of the casing is just there.
Desktop or podcast mode. Now technically this is exactly the same as handheld mode or shotgun mode. However, This does sound really good because the distance from my mouth to this is very consistent and it's very, very close. Also, when you are in an environment like this, it's usually pretty controlled and always sounds really, really good. So this is quite nice if you don't want to have a mic strapped to your chest, or if you don't want a shotgun mic all the way over there by that camera. On camera or shotgun mode.
Now this is pretty much just like handheld mode. When it's in shotgun mic or on camera mode, all that's happening is the microphone is using that first transmitter. Now you will see that there is a little vent or speaker port on the front. However, I can confirm that this is not a microphone like some people have been saying. All that's actually happening here is that design allows more audio to be kind of sent through the front of the device into that compartment that is by that first transmitter. So the front of it is still just using the normal transmitter. And in saying that, something that is crucially important is to just make sure that when you are using it in this kind of shotgun mic mode, do not use noise cancellation. The reason being is your voice becomes way too far from the camera, and then essentially what happens is you kind of have your voice becoming the noise and it tries to cut out your voice. So instead, no noise cancellation, and then rather add noise cancellation in post.
The wireless mic mode.
Now in your standard wireless mic mode, these sound really, really good. If you are clipping this onto someone's chest and keeping that kind of distance to the chest, they sound absolutely amazing. And I'll explain in a bit exactly why the noise cancellation, which is applied now, sounds so damn perfect. Now, yes, if you are looking for massive, massive range and non-line of sight range, something like the Saramonic Ultra or a very, very expensive wireless mic is definitely the way to go. This is designed for smaller creators, being an affordable solution. So if you are filming interviews in smaller environments, these are absolutely perfect. All right, now for a range test, I am going to give you an idea on the noise cancellation as well, because right now we've got cars around us, there's birds, there's a lot of wind, there's a breeze actually coming straight from the side, so I've put the little dead cat on as well. So this is the sound that you would get, just standard sound. This is the noise, you can hear the birds. Now if I do tap noise cancellation, that is noise cancellation. This kind of gives you an idea on how crisp the sound actually is. Now I'm going to walk back because this is line of sight. We're going to do a bit of a range test. Here I go. If I do turn around, you'll see that the audio will eventually start to disappear. So right now, Michelle can still hear me. She's standing behind the camera. She can hear me. She can hear me. She can let us know when, there we go, it's coming and going. All right, so it's coming and going, which is kind of the usual mark that we always get on smaller wireless mics. Now, just to kind of give you an idea, I can walk back as far as I want to go right now. And we can just keep going. And as long as we are line of sight, we will always get good sounding audio. Now, the thing is, with creators that are going to be buying a mic like this, you're really going to just be using this in a much smaller setting or environment. And it's very seldom that you're going to use a clip-on wireless mic and have it turned away. So now you can't hear me? Gone? Audio gone? Can you hear me? You can hear me? Wow. Can you hear me? Now you can't. Going again. Okay, so as soon as you turn around, that kind of audio just starts to break up. Boya does say that you can get 100 meters with this, and I can tell you right now, we are pushing a good 80 meters already, and I don't think anyone's going to be using this mic past this point. So range test, absolutely perfect for any small creator that's going to be buying a mic like this. This is far more than you need, and if you are going to be using this in a smaller kind of setting, recording interviews and doing content, you are definitely not going to be using close to the max range that this offers. Right, so now we're going to do a test with the Saramonic Air. Very similar kind of price-based product, nice and small. And just to kind of give you an idea, this is the noise that you get with no noise cancellation. This is the audio quality from the Saramonic Air. Now I'm going to ask Michelle to tap and put the standard noise cancellation on. All right, so this is standard noise cancellation. Do I sound a lot better? No more background noise. Okay, now we're gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna walk back and kind of give you an idea. If you are looking for really, really far audio with no line of sight, then it's something like the Saramonic Ultra that you really need to be looking at. But then again, those products are a lot more expensive than something like this. So now I'm gonna turn around. This is kind of where we got to with the Boya as well. Can you hear me? Is it breaking up? Nothing yet. Still good. Still good. Audio still fine. Nothing breaking up. Right on. Can you still hear me? Everything, it's coming and going. Okay, so we're getting very much of a very similar kind of distance, maybe a little bit further with no line of sight. And I can tell you, much like the Boya Magic, I can just walk back, and as long as we are line of sight, we are still going to get good quality audio. And how does the audio sound compared to the Boya Magic? What do you think? Is there a huge difference or not really? Are they quite similar? They are very similarly priced products, and as I've mentioned already, Saramonic and Boya are basically sister companies, so it's really up to you which one you want. The only difference is that the Boya Magic definitely gives you a lot more versatility as opposed to Saramonic Air. I've done a whole review on the Saramonic Air, which I will link up here, that I suggest you go and look at, because it also offers a little lapel mic that you can attach. Now all you have to do is remove this little magnetic receiver from the bottom and plug it into your phone. Now your phone will power that receiver, so it never needs to be charged. You can remove a transmitter from here and it automatically connects to that receiver. Then you can go ahead and use your phone to record videos with professional sounding audio. Now this is just me talking on my iPhone 15 arm lengths away with the standard iPhone audio that you would get. And this is me talking with the Boya Magic receiver connected to my iPhone 15 and the Boya Magic transmitter on my chest. How does that sound? A lot better. And the bonus is now I can really go as far as I weigh with the camera, or I can mount my camera and then just walk away from it and still talk to the camera without having that loss of audio that you would usually get with distance from your phone. And you can also download the Boya Central app. Now what the Boya Central app does, and this is allowing you to customize not just for your phone. So basically what happens is you can go into the Boya Central app and you can change your gain settings. And obviously you can change the gain settings on the standard receiver, but there's a lot that you can't change on the receiver with the Boya Magic for your camera. One of the things that you can't change is the noise cancellation settings on the Boya Magic receiver when it's on your camera. But if you go into the app and you save it, then it is essentially changed. And you can set the noise cancellation from kind of a low to a high. Now, everything that you've heard on noise cancellation, even right now, and it's actually starting to rain, is set on low. You can also change the settings from mono to stereo. So you can record stereo, in other words, one transmitter being the right channel and another transmitter being the left channel. Also, you can use it as a handheld microphone mode, that whole kind of package with a mobile device as well. So you can kind of use it in any way you want to, even as a desktop mic. Now, another thing that you can change, which is really cool, I only learned this when I did something on the Saramonic Air, what a safety track is. A safety track allows me to record audio right now. What I'm recording is on a safety track. In other words, if I'm going to get my gain levels wrong and set it too high, it records my standard settings to the left channel. But what it also does is the safety track records, call it stereo to my right channel, but 6 decibels lower. That allows me to go into post-production and go and take the right channel that is 6 decibels lower and use that if I've set my gain levels far too high. So if you have completely butchered your gain levels and you've recorded it way too high and you've destroyed the audio, that right channel's recorded at 6 decibels lower, giving you a little bit of freedom in post-production to just duplicate that right channel into the left channel. Or if you haven't butchered the left channel, you can just use that as is. But yes, the left ear, if you listen on headphones, will be higher than the right ear. So safety tracks are vitally important when it comes to one take kind of productions or videos or even interviews. One more thing, because I know a lot of people are going to ask, this is no noise cancellation. This is how it sounds. I'm sitting in the office, computers are on. There's a drill, neighbors drilling something, dogs making a noise. There's a lot of birds. This is the sound. What do you think? Now, same setting, this is weak noise cancellation, which is minus 15 dB on the noise cancellation. So that's what it's looking for. It will lower that noise by 15 dB in theory. How does it sound? What do you think? Does the voice sound okay? Does it sound just as good on the voice? And maybe a little bit less noise and ambient sound in the background. There's cars driving past outside. How does that sound? And last but not least, this is the strong noise cancellation. Same noises, the drill is still going. How does that sound? Is it pushing too much noise? The noise is now suppressed by up to 40 dB. Is it too strong? Does my voice sound okay? What do you think? Usually I would always recommend going 15 dB. Weak the middle kind of noise cancellation, and then put in more in post. But sometimes it's just better, especially when there's been so much work and AI and sound samples done, that sometimes it's just better to go with the stronger noise cancellation.
Specs and buttons. For those of you that are wondering about specs and everything else, which it is still important besides for all the real world stuff that you've just seen, listen to this. The unit itself holds 30 hours of use. However, that is your charging case charging those transmitters. You're basically looking at about 6 hours of use out of a transmitter, which is usually more than enough for most creators doing interviews, small projects, even weddings when it's a ceremony or a reception. This is probably more than you need. Also, the range, as I mentioned, is 100 meters or about 300 feet line of sight. And the max SPL, which is quite important, is 115 dB. Now that's equivalent to a jet ski, or even worse, a baby crying. Now I don't know if you have kids or if you've heard babies cry, but it is pretty loud. Basically, that is the max SPL to kind of tell you, listen, after this, you're going to get some serious distortion. On top of that, you may have heard that the noise cancellation on this is absolutely insane. And there's a big reason for that. That is because Boya trained their AI noise cancellation on over 70,000 noise samples with over 20,000 hours of deep learning, and it has up to negative 40 dB cancellation depth. Also, whether it's in handheld mode or you're just using the transmitter, they've made it pretty simple to know that a single tap activates or deactivates noise cancellation. Blue means no noise cancellation and green means go, which is noise cancellation. Lastly, the receiver has 2 buttons, and that is pretty much it for the buttons. One is to power it on, and the second button is to change the gain. It allows you to change from 1, 2, or 3 in those gain steps, 3 being the highest gain, 1 being the lowest gain. Also, when you charge the case via USB-C, it does have 4 little lights that will light up and give you how far it is charged, each light representing 25% of the charge.
Now, the biggest con when it comes to this mic is essentially the handheld mode. That is the biggest con, but there is a little way around it. Now, if I am using the mic in handheld mode as it is now, and there's no noise cancellation, and I do actually handle the mic while I'm passing it off to someone asking, to interview, you're going to hear a lot of this noise, and you can hear it quite extensively. It feels like someone's really kind of rubbing on the transmitter itself. But if I do tap the button and I activate noise cancellation, now you're going to see, no matter how much I fiddle with it, majority of that noise has kind of disappeared. So as you can hear now, there's a huge difference. Just to kind of give you an idea on the exact same movement. Noise cancellation off. Noise cancellation on. Yet, even though there's noise cancellation on and it takes away most of that noise, the mic itself is still picking up good volume from my voice.
Conclusion. This entire video has been recorded on the Boya Magic, and it's quite crazy that a $140 mic is able to do so much on camera, handheld, and still give you so much extra in here for creators that are starting out. And by no means, if you're a full-time creative in the industry and you've been shooting hundreds and hundreds of projects, you probably have mics that are way more expensive than this. And I think that is exactly what Boya wants. Boya's not asking full-time professional creators to go and buy this mic. They're trying to target the smaller creators that are coming into the industry that don't have thousands of dollars to buy different types of microphones for the situation that they may be thrown into next week on a project. So if you want to get something like this, it is honestly really, really good. Besides for the price, the audio that comes out of this is honestly magic. No pun intended. I do want to say thank you to Boya for sending this through to me so I can actually grill it and put it through its paces and actually test it and give you an honest review. Also, if you have made it this far, there's something extremely important that I want to tell you. There is absolutely no audio processing on this entire video. No noise cancellation. All I have done is just adjusted the levels. No EQs, absolutely nothing. This is the raw audio straight into a GH6 for this entire video, and that's how it would sound. I hope you guys enjoyed this review. I will leave a link in the description where you can head over and check out the Boya Magic, or if you do want to pick it up. Thanks for watching, wherever you are in the world. Have a good day, good evening, and good night.